welcome to the show. This is Protect Your Children Now with your host, Christopher Gelson with Protect Your Children Incorporated. One thing you'll notice tonight is you don't get to see my lovely face. Yes, and that is done on purpose because the information we're going to bring you tonight, I wanted to make sure it was large enough to read on the screen, so you don't need my mug in the way. So yes, you'll have to suffer through not seeing me tonight, but I'm sure that's not going to be a problem for most of you out there. But in any case, I thank you all for being here. And let's see, Marie T says, I had to go to subscription to even find the show tonight. Oh, thanks, YouTube, not doing us any favors, assuming that's YouTube, right, Marie? But in any case, very important show tonight, very important show indeed. And, there's just been an increasing amount of situations where kids are getting trapped by predators. And, we'd like to think it's not a lack of knowledge because a lot of this stuff has been out there for decades about what to be careful about. But apparently a lot of parents and kids are still not aware of the dangers. And so we'll tell parents out there that if you think you have all the answers already, well, then you need to contact us because we don't have all the answers already. There's a lot of things changing very quickly with technology and tactics. Now, the goal is the same. The goal of the predator is the same. It is to demoralize, desensitize, hypersexualize, and then attack your kids. That's the goal. That's the plan, and that's what they do. How they go about it is changing. With technology, it changes. With the way the community is set up these days, it's changing. The way the school system is set up means it's changing. The ideas and thoughts that are putting out onto the movie screen from Hollywood is changing things. The books the kids are reading in the library at school is changing things. There are so many things changing so rapidly, and our kids are at risk. Our kids are at risk. So this is why we do the show every week. And this is why we need you to like, to share, to subscribe, to let everybody know, hey, there's some great information coming out. You need to listen to this. Even if it's just the podcast, of course, they don't get to see my lovely mug. But if they're just listening to the podcast at work or in the car or at home with the kids, that is great because the kids will become more aware. The kids will become educated. And therefore, they'll be more protected. And that's the idea. That's the goal. That is the ultimate goal here. So we'll start off by letting you know that we have our website, protectyourchildren.org, protectyourchildren.org right there on the screen. And protectyourchildren.org is loaded, packed, jam-packed with education and awareness. We have a free, everything is free here, in-depth protection packet, which is right here. Click on that, and you can download in English or Spanish this guideline of a packet of guidelines, actually. And they're very detailed. So the kids will be able to understand what to look for. Parents will know what to look for, the warnings, the tricks, the traps, the threats, the personality traits of predators. A whole lot of stuff is in that in-depth protection packet. So you can go to our website, protectyourchildren.org, and click on that and download it, share it, print it, save it to your desktop, whatever you want to do with it. Just don't sell it. You sell it, we're going to have problems, okay? I mean, who's going to sell information to keep kids safe? But, hey, there are people that do it. We also have tips on preventing kidnapping, all sorts of stuff here. All of our podcasts are hosted on this website. We have the animated Talking with Topher series, which the kids love. It's got a little Stitch-like character that goes around navigating life, trying to be safe from predators. A lot of good teaching lessons there. How to protect your kids online, zip code predator searches, how to set up parental controls, you name it. It's all on there. Background checks, right there. Background checks, federal, state, and local. Believe it or not, you don't need as much information as you think you need for us to do a background check. Just reach out to us through the website, contact us, and let us know. And we'll be happy to do a free background check on somebody to make sure that they are safe to be around you and your children. How about that? That's pretty cool. Also, on our website, you can see how to help us out. All right. You can donate and support our mission. We are a 501c3 not-for-profit, tax deductible. Donations are accepted and needed. They are needed. And right here below, you can see some of the things: website maintenance, hosting and updating, advertising on social media, internet, radio, television, outdoor signage, printing costs, costs for hosting in-person conferences, costs for teacher training materials, producing podcasts, and on and on and on. We have a lot of expenses here, and we have very, very few donations, very, very few donations. So we need you to help us out with that. It's tax deductible. Get a receipt to put on your taxes. So please visit protectyourchildren.org and help us out with that today. All right. Tracy, glad to see you here. She says happy Valentine's Day. Yes. Or Single Persons Awareness Day. Yes. Single Person Awareness Day. Say that 3 times fast. Okay. Yeah, we got a lot of single people out there. Hey, right? You know, can't forget about them. They're at home eating a Marie Callender's TV dinner right now on the couch, probably with a cold beer and their pet. But, let's not forget about them. Not single people out there. But for all of you who are out there and you're with your loved one tonight, please be safe. Have a blessed time. And be thankful for each other. Be thankful for each other. All right. Who else is in the chat here? So we got Rising on Eagle's Wings. We got Marie T. We got Tracy. And let's see. We got some faithful people. Marie T. and Tracy are here all the time. Got a message from another Marie who was supposed to be here tonight. She's going to be joining a little bit later, she says. And so we'll be looking forward to that. So tonight we're going to go over we got 10 tricks that predators use to trap kids. And we got 10 threats that are used by predators to trap kids and keep them in abusive situations. Right? Very important stuff for parents and kids to know. If you have children, have them sit next to you and listen to this. They might, well, I know how to be safe. I'm not dumb, Mom. I'm not dumb, Dad. But let me tell you, if every kid was as smart as yours, there'd be no kids being abused and there'd be no kids being kidnapped. The reality is that all kids are vulnerable to fall into these traps, whether online or in the community, and they need to know these tricks. They need to know these threats. And next week, we're going to be looking at some lies that predators tell that keep kids suffering for years and years and years. We're going to expose that stuff. Tracy says, thank you, Marie. Yeah, I have a few channels that won't always notify. Yeah, listen, it's so much up to you guys out there because the social media, now listen, on one side of it, our social media is increasing. It continues to have an upward trajectory, which we're very thankful for. Our Facebook group, it was at I think 697 last week. It's like 880. I mean, it's jumping up. The YouTube subscribers are starting to click in, subscribing finally. Facebook page is over 5,000 finally. So we're getting more reach because we're posting more. We're doing more videos plus the live shows. But ultimately, social media is not going to help us out. They're not going to say, hey, you should check this out. Even Instagram, with its predator-filled platform, is not going to help this information get out to people. They're just not going to do it. They do not want your kids protected. And that is clear. We saw that with the Senate hearing that we went over last week when Ted Cruz, and again, we're not picking political sides here. We're just pointing out who's protecting kids and who isn't. But when Ted Cruz held up that screenshot picture from Instagram, which was warning people that they're about to look at child pornography, right? And then the options was to get resources or look at it anyway. That means that Instagram's algorithm knew, it identified what it might be, and then they gave the perverts the option to look at it instead of removing it. So no, social media is not going to get this out to a lot of people. That's up to the passionate protectors. That's up to Marie. That's up to Tracy. That's up to the other listeners and the passionate protectors that we have to get this information out to other people so our kids can stop being victimized by psycho predators. We have to do all we can. And your donations help toward that. We've talked about this before. Back when we first started, we had donations coming in, and we would spend $100 a week. That's $400 a month. And we were reaching easily 40 to 50,000 people. This is not exaggeration. 40 to 50,000 people were being reached on social media for $400 a month. Could you imagine that? And now, of course, with donations down to a trickle, we're reaching maybe 100. There's a difference there. It does take money to advertise, and so your donations help with that as well. All right, let's jump into something now. Yeah, we're going to get into the tricks and the threats in a little bit, but I want to first go to our hero segment. And I think some people say, what's with this hero segment thing? You do a whole show about kids that are being attacked and kids that are being preyed upon, and then right in the middle of it, you do a hero kid segment, or at the beginning of it, you do a hero kid segment, and you're like, look at this great kid. Yeah, we bring in the hero kid segment because there are terrific kids out there. And you know what? They shouldn't have to worry about some psycho preying on them. I mean, your kids want to focus on school and success and sports and doing the things that they're good at, but instead, they're being trapped online. They're being groomed online. They're being looked at, stalked in the community. Right? And this is because it's gone silent for way too long. Now, a lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are more alert now than they've ever been. But we want to continue to highlight the great kids that go above and beyond to make a difference, whether it's to save a life or to help the less fortunate. Kids that do not think about their own safety first, but they think about helping others. And we want to protect that. We want to protect that's in all of our children. I think all of our children have that ability. They have that desire to want to make a difference, to want to do good. And stuff like drug and alcohol addiction and all sorts of types of abuse, plus these predators and these groomers can ruin that vision that they have and destroy their lives. We want to help protect their vision and protect them from these perverts that are out there. So our Hero Kids segment each week is to highlight how many great kids there are out there and the importance of protecting them from being abused. So let's check out our Hero Kids segment and we'll be right back.
Young girl stops the attempted abduction of a 4-year-old child.
Instead of running away, the 12-year-old took off after the man who is now charged with abduction of a child.
Corrine Zell talked to the families of both girls. She's live outside the Kenosha County Detention Center with the story. Corrine.
George and Carol, neighbors say this man was unusual. He would do yoga in the front yard in his underwear. He even asked the kids a lot of questions, specifically at one time about rape and kidnapping.
Yeah, I just ran after Kaylee because I didn't know what could have happened next if I wouldn't have ran down there.
12-year-old Jada Miller chased after her 4-year-old neighbor when other neighbor kids saw a man walk off with the girl.
I felt that if I had stopped to ring the doorbell, the parents were too busy doing something, they wouldn't get to the door in time, so I just went down there and did my own business.
Neighbors say Benjamin Spasogovich Lee moved in with family a couple months ago. The 27-year-old told neighbors his name was Elijah. They noticed his peculiar behavior right away.
He was stripping, when the bus came one day, he was stripping down to his underwear.
Jeff Carr called police on the man after he says Spasogovich Lee harassed his wife, claiming she wasn't a good mom. But Carr didn't think his new neighbor was capable of trying to take his daughter.
I never thought he would do something like that.
Trinity Stout ran to get Kaylee's parents as Jada ran after the suspect.
He grabbed onto her wrist, after he seen nobody was paying attention.
I wanted to go chase after him. I really did, but that's not how it was brought up, so I just called the police right away.
The 12-year-old hero, emotional, looking back at what could have happened, but in the moment, Jada gave the man a piece of her mind.
Kaylee was like, I'll be back, and then I looked at him and said, no, she won't.
According to the criminal complaint, the suspect denied doing anything wrong. If he posts bail, he is to have no contact with anyone under the age of 18. Reporting live from the Kenosha County Detention Center, Corrine Zell, today's TMJ4.
How awesome is that, right? This girl knew the danger. She saw it. And this sicko, I mean, stripping down to his underwear right when the bus comes. I mean, what is he doing here? And then he's got the nerve to say to the one lady that she's not a good mother? What, and you're going to be a great dad? What kind of twisted mentality is going on there with these people? This guy's doing yoga, so he's doing all these stretching poses and bending over and all this crap in front of the little kids, especially when their school bus comes. Like he's trying to tempt them right into abuse, trying to groom them. But this smart young girl, 12 years old, knew something wasn't right. And she said, I'm not going to let him get her. I'm not going to let him touch even one child. And she did the right thing. And for that, she's a hero. She's an absolute hero. Man, I'll tell you, some of these people make your head want to explode. Let's check out some of these weird people, shall we? I say we shall. Now, we've been highlighting some of this recently. All right. Now, this, okay, I'm going to try to be nice here. This is what we're seeing on Instagram, right? This is happening a lot now. And we're going to lead into something here that leads up to our tricks that predators use and our threats that predators use. We'll be getting into that just a little bit. But look at some of this, okay? These are the comments that adults are leaving on kids' profiles, right? Oil up, boy. I'll be there in 5 minutes. We all know what that's a reference to, right? How about that? Sick pieces of crap that they are. This one, okay? Clearly adults, all of them. Let's go. DM. Send me a direct message. Awesome. Keep it up. Do the work. Hot. Josh says that this kid is hot. How old does Josh look? Looks like an adult to me. These people are brazen. They sit there and they wait for these kids to respond. How about this one over here? I don't see my money. You better oil up. I'm showing up at 9 p.m. Make sure your parents aren't at home. This is what they think is funny. This is the kind of stuff they think is appropriate to put on kids' profiles. But you see, these kids are just on Instagram doing innocent stuff. They're doing workout challenges. They're just doing regular stuff. And these predators are just lurking around, just waiting to jump on these profiles. There's another one. And you can see part of our comments up there. We were saying, look, be careful. The sexual predators are on here. They'll comment and they'll try to communicate with you. It's amazing how many grown men will say that a boy is beautiful. Right? Look at this guy. Fire. This boy is beautiful. Adult man. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. How many people are out there? And you all have heard of fishing, right? And I'm not talking about catch a fish. We're talking about fishing, right? How these scammers will go out there and they'll hit, 10,000, 20,000, profiles or whatever. And they're just waiting for the one fish to grab the hook and they just pull them in, right? And that's what these predators are doing too. There's all these kids out there. And that's another conversation about parents letting their kids be on social media. And some of the stuff these kids are doing is attracting predators. It really is. Not that it's the kids' fault, but, they're not aware of what they're doing and how it's going to affect them. But the reality is that there's, millions of kids out there on social media now. And there's tons and tons and tons of predators. And they're just commenting on all these profiles, man. They're just waiting for that one child that's going to respond, that's going to engage them in that conversation, or that one child that falls into their trap. That's what they're waiting for. They're fishing for that one kid. And if parents don't know about what their kids are doing, and if kids don't know how dangerous it is out there, then they're going to be the one to grab the hook. Now, Protect Your Children every single day is out there on social media, and we're warning kids. We're putting comments. We're warning them about the predators. We're hoping it's going to keep them safe, that they'll listen. We've had kids pin our warnings to the top of their comment section We've had comments that we've posted about being safe that have had 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 likes by other kids and adults. So it's being seen. We're trying to do our part in a very small way that we can. But that's just an example of how many pervs are out there. It's really out of control. Marie T says this should scare the kids. Yeah. And Tracy hit it right on the money. She said they're hunters tossing out the bait to see who bites. That's exactly what's happening. It's exactly what's happening. You know? Let's just look one more time here. This is what's happening. Whose child is this? Right? Do parents know that these kids are online? Do parents look at their comment section of what their kids are posting? Do the parents know that there's adults telling these kids, hey, you better oil up. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Do they know? Do they have any idea? Does this kid's parents know that this adult man is trying to direct message their child? And that this other creepo down here, Josh696873, says, hey, you're hot to a child. Do the parents know that? Do the grandparents know that? This poor kid right here. Do parents have any idea? You better oil up. I'm showing up at 9 p.m. Make sure your parents aren't at home. What, is this supposed to be funny? Fire. Fire. This boy is beautiful. This freaking predator says. It's really out of control. It's out of control. All right, let's take a look at something here. You want to see this? And this is one of these experiments that people do. And it's going to go to show you something, right? It's going to go to show you that you can tell your kids 100 times to be careful, to don't talk to strangers, don't fall for the traps, right? And once you tell them and they know about the danger, you don't just leave it alone. You still kind of have to keep your eyes open, don't you? We all have to keep our eyes open. We still got to watch their interactions. We still have to watch where they're going and what friends they're spending time with. You know, and who's at their friends' houses. And, you know, we have to start to keep our eyes open on things. I mean, just because the kids know, don't mean they're always going to be able to do the right thing. Now, the first step is knowing. Now, what I'm about to show you here, there's no indication that this was staged or fake. But even if it was, it's a great learning tool. But according to the creator, it's very real. It's very real. So let's check this out. This came off of Instagram, ironically, right? Which goes to show you there are people out there that are trying to make a good difference, right? They're trying to do their best to protect kids, doing the best they can. And we're thankful for those that are out there. And there are a lot of good people out there that are doing that. You know, but it's like we're going against the tide here. And we need more people to help out. So let's check this out. It's 56 seconds long, but it's just a good example of what can happen. Check this experiment out.
How many times a day do you tell your kid not to talk to strangers?
I tell my kid every day.
All right. So if I go over to your kid right now, will he or she talk to me or run away?
I'm pretty sure she's not going to talk to you, but try.
All right. Which one's your kid? I'm going to put it to the test. I'm going to go over there with the puppy.
She's right there.
She's right over there?
And then she's Jackie.
All right. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to talk to her as a stranger. All right? Hi.
Hi.
Look at the puppy.
Puppy.
Look at the puppy. Like the puppy?
Yeah.
Can you guess what her name is?
Duncan.
Duncan? You were close. Her name's Donuts. I got some more puppies. Want to go see the other puppies?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Come on. Right over here. Give me your hand.
Simple enough. Simple enough. And the mom says, I tell her every day. Every day I tell her not to be messing around. Don't talk to strangers. Don't take a chance. And what happened? She saw the cute puppy and still decided to go after it. Walked off with the guy. This is why we're always paying attention. This is why we're not just teaching, but we're double checking. We're being nosy, right, parents? Be nosy. You gotta be nosy. See what's going on in the chat. Yeah, Marie T. She says, exactly where are the parents? Question mark. Yeah, where are the parents? Yeah. Oh, and then she pointed out, yeah, look, the people that heart it. Yeah, the people put the heart emoji next to comments about going after a child. I mean, it's out of control, right? This is what's happening today. And it's not just online, it's in the community. And we know that this is scary for people. This is like nerve-wracking for parents. Believe me, we're with you on this. I mean, this is what we eat, breathe every day. But we can either take the fear and cower in the corner and do nothing, or we can take the fear, turn it into passion, and educate and make people aware and help protect kids. That's the choice that we have. It's unbelievable. All right. I want to remind you of our website, protectyourchildren.org, protectyourchildren.org, also protectfrompredators.org. Also, social media, we are on TikTok, Instagram, Rumble, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Business, and Facebook groups. You can check us out on all of those. All those links can be found on our website, right on the homepage. Like and subscribe, tweet, retweet, follow, all that good stuff. This way you stay informed. We post all week long. We share content that other passionate protectors send to us. And we share that. And we try to keep, a steady diet. A steady diet of good education and awareness every day. So make sure you subscribe to our social media and stay informed. Stay informed. All right, let's jump into the tricks by predators. 10 tricks by predators. Let's see what we got. Oh my goodness. This is crazy stuff that we deal with. All right. Hopefully this is going to be big enough. All right, can you all hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, I think we got sound back. We're good. All right. Okay, we're back. At least I think we are. All right. Old Verizon commercial, right? Can you hear me now? All right. So the victim is offered something that he or she might want. A young child might be offered candy, a toy, or gum. A teen might be offered money, free food, a ride, or a trip to someplace exciting. Sometimes a person will take a valued belonging and then offer to return it only if the victim goes with the person or allows sexual contact. Imagine that. And we all know about this. But parents, what can you do here? If your child is showing up with items that they shouldn't have, that you didn't buy, or they've got money and they're not working and you're not giving it to them, then you better start asking questions. Better start asking questions. The next one, the animal trick. We just saw that with the Instagram experiment, right? The person is lured away from others by an invitation to play with or receive a gift of a puppy or kitten or some other cute or unusual animal. Kids are very vulnerable to this. Heck, I'm vulnerable to it. Yeah, I see little puppies. I want to pet every dog I can, even some cats too. But kids, even when you say don't talk to strangers, a lot of times kids think about a stranger as somebody who looks immediately dangerous. But an innocent guy or a woman that's got a cute puppy, in a kid's mind, they're just out walking the dog. They don't look dangerous, right? So you got to teach your kids, even if somebody doesn't look dangerous, it doesn't mean that they're not. And it doesn't mean that all people are either. I don't want to make the kids paranoid. The emergency trick. A person pretends that a fire, an accident, illness, death, or some other emergency has happened to the victim's family, home, or friend. The person then says there was a change in plans and he or she was to pick them up because the prearranged ride was canceled. They may say they are a friend even. We've heard of this, right? Hey, your mom sent me to pick you up. I think we showed an experiment actually a couple weeks back about that. A kid got into a car. The guy came pick them up at school and said, hey, your mom sent me to pick you up. And the kid just got in the car with the guy. Unbelievable, right? This was like a young teen kid. It should always be a password or a code word or something. Kids should always know that who's going to pick them up if something was to happen. And that person needs to have that password, that code. And if they don't know it, the kid's not going to go with them. Just a simple thing that you can do. How about the help trick? Someone asks the child or teen for help. They may ask for directions to use the phone, or to carry heavy bags, or to search for someone or something lost, like a pet, child, or money. I mean, what kid doesn't want to help out? Can you help me find my pet? Hey, can you give me a hand with this really quick? Child wanders off just far enough out of sight, and they're gone. Now, granted, only at about 8% of all abductions are done by complete strangers. And on one side, you're like, okay, well, that's a little bit better about that. But when you think about what that actually means, 92% is someone that the child knows or the family knows. And they don't feel so good no more, do you? But yeah, someone will ask the child or the teen for help. They may ask for directions to use the phone or to carry heavy bags or to search for someone or something lost, like a pet, child, or money. Parents, your kids need to know these. If they're not listening right now, then you can go back to the podcast afterwards. Make your kids listen to this portion of the live. They need to know these things. How about the bad child trick? This is when a person accuses the child or the teen of doing something wrong. The child or the teen is ordered to go with the person. Sometimes a real-looking badge or ID is shown as fake proof of the predator's official status. Then they will threaten to get the child in trouble unless they do sexual things. Now that's kind of scary. But how many kids do you think are taught to go with a police officer, to go with a fireman, right? To go with somebody who they believe they can always trust? And did you know that people can buy uniforms, police uniforms, get them offline? So somebody disguised as an officer can just go up and talk to a child, and that child will go off with them. Right? Now, the reality is that law enforcement or CPS or whoever, they cannot be talking to your child. They have to get permission. But nobody should be coming up to your child out of nowhere, starting to talk to them, tell them to come out with them. And we got the flattery trick. By the way, you all look absolutely beautiful and handsome tonight. I just want to tell you that right now. You guys are awesome. I can't even see your faces, but I know you look beautiful. See that? There's the hook. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody who flatters a kid and gives them a compliment wants to hurt them. And certainly because I complimented you doesn't mean I want to get something from you. But smooth talk and flattery, as the scripture says, smooth talk and flattery are very cunning ways. And predators use flattery. In this particular case, could be someone posing as a photographer, a social media influencer, or a famous person. A person might ask the victim to go with them so pictures or a video can be taken. And there may be a promise of becoming famous. Hey, did you know that I am a social media influencer and you got what it takes to be really popular and really famous? Oh, but my mom and dad, they won't let me do that. Well, that's all right. They don't have to know. When they realize how famous and important you got, they'll understand. They'll fall for it. Marie T can talk to something about that. The next one. The open the door trick. The person tricks the child victim into opening the house door or car door. The person might look like a repair person or says that they need to use the phone or deliver a package or needs help or directions. Sometimes a minor car accident is staged to get the teen victim to pull the car over and open the car door. You see how creative these predators can be? And you see, we got to be just as creative or even more in the ways that we can protect the kids. See, they're thinking of these schemes all the time. And we got to be thinking all the time on how we can keep kids safe. Now, how about the networking trick? We see this a lot. Children and teens have been lured into dangerous situations by people using computer online services to make contact. The communication usually starts as a harmless exchange, right? Hey, nice video. Great job. Keep up the good work. How long did it take you to do that? See, now where's open-ended questions come in? See, predators will try to get kids to respond to them, to engage in that conversation so they can groom them and they can solicit information from them. But this is what happens. The communication usually starts out as a harmless exchange. Then the predator asks for a face-to-face meeting, or the messages become increasingly sexual in content. Imagine that. And this is what happens all the time. People have to be aware of this. Marie T says you don't know who you can trust. Absolutely right. You just don't. And this is happening with social media all the time. We talked about the predators that have voice changers to sound like kids. The predators that are on these online games promising kids that they can make them really good at what they do and make them popular. And all they got to do is just, talk with them and maybe exchange a picture or something. And the kids think it's harmless. Oh, this can't be that bad. I'll give it a shot. And we see what happens. How about the secret trick? Sometimes victims are asked if they can keep a secret. Oftentimes, the secret is sexual in nature and is intended to, quote unquote, test a child to see if they can be trusted and see what they will be willing to do sexually. Think about that. We're not talking about little brother who saw little sister take a cookie from the cookie jar. And little sister says, hey, can you keep it a secret? Right? See, today, kids are told to keep a secret. And kids often think, okay, that's kind of cute. That's kind of fun. I can keep a secret. Yeah, just between you and me, right? But it's bad. And as the kids get older, think about it, parents. Whenever a teenager goes to somebody and says, hey, can you keep a secret about something? Do you think that's a good thing that they're keeping a secret? Do you think that secret is a good, wholesome, pure, lovingly good thing? No, most likely it's something sexually related or drug related, alcohol related, something that's probably harmful to them. But they don't want mom and dad to know. So a lot of times somebody will be talking, especially a predator, talk to a child and say, hey, can you keep a secret? And the child say, I can keep a secret. I'm good at keeping secrets. Look, my fingers aren't even crossed. And the predator will say, hey, one time, so-and-so, your friend, yeah, we looked at this one time and they thought it was really cool, but don't tell nobody. Oh, okay, I won't tell nobody. See, it starts out as a secret. Kids shouldn't be keeping secrets. Bottom line. And finally, number 10 of the tricks by predators, the social media trick. Predators will often follow a bunch of kids on social media. Didn't we just see that? They will like, comment, flatter, and ask open-ended questions to engage the child. Predators today have become very brazen, and they will leave sexual comments and hope to get a child to respond. The predator is usually an adult, but their profile may be of a child. We saw that. It's right here. Fire, fire, this boy is beautiful. See this? And even this one. Baby, be careful. You can hurt yourself that way. Coming from, that's an adult. Waiting for the child to respond and say, okay, I'll be careful. They just made contact. You better oil up. I'm showing up at 9 p.m. Make sure your parents aren't at home. And there were 5 replies, which we won't go into. Let's go. DM. You're hot. See this? Just waiting for one of the children to respond. Oil up, boy. I'll be there in 5. It's out of control. And that's just a handful of what we're coming across. Facebook user says, thank you for this. My 10-year-old and I are watching. She's really listening. Awesome. Fantastic. You got to stay safe. Any children that are listening, you are very, very important. You have a purpose. You're precious. You're beautiful, you're handsome, whichever you are. And these predators out there, no matter what they say, no matter how much they compliment, no matter what they promise, their goal is to hurt you. And you got to be safe. You have to stay safe. All right, let's look at some threats. These are some common threats that are used by predators. If you tell anyone, then I will hurt you. Isn't that the number one? But here's the thing. The police, and this is to the kids, the police and the parents will know how to protect you before the person or persons has a chance to do anything. See, kids don't think about that. They think, well, somebody did something, I didn't like it, I told them I didn't like it, and they said, if you tell anybody, I will kill you. I will hurt you. And the child immediately gets scared. What they need to be reminded of is that no matter what happens, no matter what they tell you, you are going to make sure that they are safe, and that person is not going to get anywhere near your child. Reassure them of that. They will not be able to hurt you because all steps will be taken to protect you. How about this one? If you tell your parents or anyone, then I will hurt or kill them. This is used a lot. Now let me stop here and say for a second, and unfortunately, there are situations where kids have stayed in, we'll say, abuse situations for years. And a lot of times it's because of these threats. If you tell your parents or anyone, then I will hurt or kill them. But here's the key. The person will be arrested before they can even think, and the police will know that you're telling the truth, and they'll protect all people involved. Kids, if you go to somebody and you say, hey, this person did this, but they said they would kill me or hurt you if I did, and you tell the police that, what do you think the police are going to do? They're going to go get the person, and if they can't find the person right away, they're going to make sure that you're protected until that person's caught. They're not going to let nothing happen to your parents. Next. How about this one? If any of your friends find out about this, then I will make sure I tell them and everyone that you're lying and that you're just gay or perverted, or even that you wanted to do stuff. This is used against kids all the time. But here's the key. Your true friends will believe you and not them. Your true friends. And if they don't, then they're not your true friends. The abuser, if he or she thinks you told, believe me, they're not going anywhere near any other kids. They're not, if they have a feeling that you told, they're not going to be communicating with kids. They're not going to go anywhere near any kids until he or she feels that the coast is clear. And anyway, he or she will be arrested, and that will speak for itself. Once that person's arrested for doing what they did, who's going to believe what they got to say? Nobody. So don't worry about that threat. If you tell anyone about this, I will get into trouble. I may lose my family or my job, or I may have to kill myself, and it will be your fault. You know who did that one a lot? The Catholic priests. And again, not all Catholic priests, but all those that were arrested in the tens of thousands of abuse cases in the Catholic Church. The priests were telling the kids that if they told, then God would be mad at them because the priest would lose his position, and he's the father of the church. Trap kids with that. But here's the thing. How is it your fault for the choice that they made? It's their choice, not yours. Did you make them do the wrong thing? No, you didn't. You probably weren't even looking for it. You didn't even know it was going to happen. It's not your fault. Consequences, it's on them, not you, kids. If anyone finds out about this, I will come and kidnap you. That's scary. That can scare the heck out of a child. If anyone finds out about this, I will come and kidnap you. Here's the catch. Again, the police will get the person before they can do anything. And the police deal with this stuff all the time. And they and your parents can protect you. And they will. Children out there, no matter what has happened, your parents love you dearly. They are not going to let something happen to you. If you say that you were threatened and that this person might come and try to kidnap you, they will let you sleep in their bed to make sure you're safe at night. They're not going to let something happen to you. Don't let the threat keep you quiet. Rounding it out here, if anyone finds out about this, I'll hurt your family pet. There actually was a movie about that a long time ago called I Know My First Name is Steven. About a boy who was abused. He was playing Little League, and it was one of the coaches. And the coach had threatened him and said, if you tell anybody, I'll kill your dog. The kid loved his dog so much that he was afraid to tell. When the reality is, if he had told his parents that the guy threatened the dog, then the parents would protect the pet after the police had been called. So not only would the person go to jail, but the pet would be safe. Even if that means the dog doesn't run out by itself anymore, they go out there and wait for the dog to do its business. There's steps that can be taken to make sure your pet is protected. Don't fall for that threat. If you tell anyone about this, they won't believe you. The police will know when you're telling the truth, and your parents or another trusted adult will believe and protect you. And we've heard the stories. We've heard the stories of kids that have gone to their parents and said, so-and-so did this, and the parent got mad at them and said, stop lying. They would never do that. Don't you ever say that again. Well, then what's the child do? They should do is go to a trusted adult. Tell somebody else. Your parents don't believe. But I'll tell you what, 99% of the cases, your parents will believe you. They'll believe you. If you tell anyone about this, then you will get in trouble because you didn't say no. And you did sexual stuff multiple times. See, and this happens. Believe it or not, this happens. And this is a gray area that we'll have a show about sometime. But not all S abuse is physically forced. Sometimes kids are groomed. Their hormones are used against them. They get trapped in the feelings of sex and emotion. They believe that the person actually cares. And things might happen multiple times. We hear about this with teachers all the time. You know, the teacher was arrested because they did stuff on 6 occasions. And someone would go, why would the child go back 6 times? They must have liked it. That's the mentality, right? And the predators will use that against the child and say, well, you didn't say no. You liked it. It's your fault. There's something wrong with you. When really it's not the child's fault. Their age, their hormones, their emotions, they were tricked. And they got trapped. And here it is. You will not get in trouble because you were tricked and groomed and trapped by your hormones and your emotions. Don't let that stop you. from going to somebody you can trust. And finally, if you tell your parents, then one of them will try to kill me and they will go to jail and you will have no one. Now, let me tell you a quick story. And I mean, it's a quick one. We got about 5 minutes left in the show. Protect Your Children business over here. We're at Staples. We're waiting for some stuff to get printed up. I was there. And we had some flyers that were getting printed up, and the worker came and he said, take a look at this and let me know if you think it came out good. How's it look? Do you want to change anything? And this guy standing next to me noticed the flyer and he said, oh, you protect kids from predators. I said, yeah, that's what we do. And he said, well, I told my kids, if anybody tries to hurt them, I'll kill the SOB. And I looked at the guy horrified. And he looked at me, he's like, what? And I said, you told your kids that you would kill a predator if they got touched? And he said, that's right. I ain't putting up with that. I'll kill anybody who tries to hurt my kids. And I said, do you realize now that your kids aren't going to tell you? Well, what do you mean? Well, now they're afraid you're going to go to jail. You think they're going to come to you and tell you when they think you're going to fly off the handle and go kill somebody? And now only have they been abused, but now they're going to lose you? Parents, don't ever tell your kids that. And I know that sounds, like you want to tell them that. And the kids are like, wow, man, my dad really loves me because he'll kill anybody that tries to hurt me. The sentiment's nice. But if your kids think you're serious, you think they're going to come to you and tell you without worrying about what you're going to do or if they're going to lose you next? What you can do is tell them I love you very, very much, and I would hope that no one would ever try to hurt you. And if they do, I will do everything to make sure you're safe, protected, and that person goes to jail for the rest of their life. That's what you can tell them. Because then they can be secure and they can know that if they come and tell you that they're not going to lose you. And that's why we say here, even though parents might say they will kill the person, they won't. Because they know they would lose you to jail. Wow. Tracy says, tell another adult until someone listens in response to if the parents don't believe them. Absolutely right. This is just a handful of the tricks and threats. Next week, we're going to look at the lies that predators tell that keep kids trapped in abuse. Now, a lot of this information and more can be found on our website. It can be found in the in-depth protection packet that we have for free on our website. This is the kind of stuff that's in there. This didn't come directly from it. Some of it did. But if you get that in-depth protection packet, all this stuff you can go over with your kids. And we'll give you an example. If you click here, all right, it's in Spanish and also in English. Click right there. You can download it in English or in Espanol and go over it with your kids. You can print it, save it, share it, copy it, do whatever you want. I want to round out the show by letting everybody know that we appreciate you. We see what a lot of you are doing now online. A lot more of you are sharing stuff. You're telling others. So our numbers are increasing as far as reach, and that's what it's all about. It's not about getting famous. It's not about, oh, look how many subscribers we can get. We want subscribers and followers and likers and commenters and sharers and retweeters, because we know that the more of those we have, the more education is going out and the more kids are being protected. That's why we want it. We're not making any money off social media. We're not making any money off of ads. It's not about money. This is about keeping kids safe and protecting their future and protecting the plan that God has for each and every one of their lives. You can donate to help us out if you can. Every little bit makes a difference. Tax deductible. You can click right on our website. Right here, there's some 8 things that we have that we need assistance with. A lot of it is advertising. We can advertise, we can reach more. Right now, I'll tell you, we can't advertise. We can't. We don't have the money. We're just a few people that volunteer our time. We don't have money to put into advertising because we have our own bills to pay. In the near future, we will be applying for grants and different things, and we'll keep you abreast of when that happens, because certainly if we got grant money and we can advertise with that, we're not going to ask for a penny from anybody else. But right now, we don't have anything. We don't have anything. So we're limited on who we can reach. All the expenses that we just showed you are being paid out of pocket right now by me or co-director Marie. Why do we do it? Because we want to keep kids safe. So if you can help us do that, make a donation today. Website via PayPal. You can do Venmo, Cash App, all those. Links are on our website. We appreciate that. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a sobering show. You know, we put all this together for you every week. And we're aware of how tough it is for parents. We really are. And it's busy, and you're just trying to get a break. And now you got to worry about predators trying to get your kids. Truth is, they've always been there. Our show a few weeks ago, remember? About NAMBLA, the North American Boy Love Association, as they're called, who disbanded apparently in 1995 when the internet got really huge. Where do you think they went? All over social media. Stalking your kids. Be nosy. Know who's following your kids. Listen, when you go to their social media accounts on their phones, click the drop-down menu up where they sign in, because there may be multiple accounts that you don't know about. A lot of kids will have one account and they let mom and dad follow, because we've heard that. Oh, no, I see everything that my kid posts. I follow them on Facebook. I see everything they post. Right, but did you see the other 2 accounts that they had? What are you talking about? They don't have any other accounts, do they? Yeah, they probably do. Thank you, Facebook user. Said, God bless you, sir. Appreciate that. Be nosy. Grab a cup of coffee and sit and go through their phone. Go through their apps. Glance through their contacts and see if there's people that you don't know, especially adults. Check the social media messages. Well, I don't want to be nosy. I mean, that's my child's business. Oh, well, yeah, it's your business too, mom and dad. It's your business. You've got to keep them safe. That's what you're called to do. That's your responsibility. That's your job. They'll get over it when they realize that you're just trying to protect them. So please, be nosy. Keep protecting the kids. Until next week, this is Chris with Protect Your Children Incorporated. This has been Protect Your Children Now. Look for the podcast. It'll be up shortly in about 15 minutes. Please like and share, subscribe, get the word out. Let's together protect more and more kids from these predators. Together we can do it. We can really do it. We can make a difference. So thank you. Until next week, stay safe, keep protected, and God bless.